Synopsis. Is there a good way to die? Asks Murray, a dying old communist Jewish union organizer. Yes, Mr. B, there is, answers TISHA, his young black hospice nurse. Dénouement is a play about that way. It requires one simple set, 5 actors, 2 females, 3 males, and lots of sound effects. Characters. Murray, Jewish Communist Union organizer, 70, played by Carl de Silva. TISHA, his young black hospice nurse, 30, played by Sonja Inge. MILDRED, his dead wife, 50, played by Sarah Hoeven. MARTY, his screenwriter's son, played by Sean Fisher. Doctor, his doctor, 40, played by Anthony Pierre Christopher. Announcer, Angry Workers, played by Anthony Pierre Christopher. Place, Murray's bedroom. Time, July 25th, 1989, when they tore down the wall. Acts, no scenes. Act 1, AM. Act 2, PM. Act 1, the stage is dark. Enough light seeps in from behind the blinds to make out shapes. Hospital bed, utility table, bedroom furniture. Sounds are heard. An old man snoring. Footsteps ascending stairs. A woman enters. She opens the blinds, filling the bedroom with light. It's TISHA, a black woman in her 30s.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to
Give it
ya.
a rest, would you, TISHA?
Whew. Oh, at least somebody's happy to see me. That tell better thumb. You know who feeds you. Oh. Any pain, Mr. B?
Nothing I can't handle. I can raise myself.
Well, excuse me.
Did I tell you, TISHA? You've done wonders with the decor. You've given my bedroom all the charm of a hospital ward.
Ooh, wee. How can you stand the smell in here? Ooh, let's let some fresh air in. Another beautiful California day. Listen to those birds.
I'm not in a listening mood.
What's wrong, Mr. B?
Is he coming?
Of course he's coming. It's your birthday. How old are you?
I was born in 1909. You figure it out.
Congratulations, Mr. B. You're 90.
Is he bringing the boys?
Oh, I hope so.
Oh, I don't.
God, tell me what's wrong.
Tell him to come another time.
But today is your birthday.
I hate birthdays, especially the last one.
Oh, well, I know, honey. We'll talk about that later. Just as soon as we get you cleaned up.
What good am I, TISHA? All I do is eat, sleep, and shit.
Talking isn't whining. Come on, let's get it over with.
First, take out Sadie. Please, I don't want her to see it.
And then we take care of business.
Dildy. Dildy.
I'm right here, dear.
Is it really you?
Of course it's me, Murray. Who else would I be? What's wrong, dear?
They don't even let me. They don't even let a man die with his dignity. She changes my diaper, for crying out loud.
Oh, Murray, everyone has to go to the bathroom. Except me, of course. I don't do those kinds of things anymore.
I don't know how much longer I can put up with this.
Don't worry, dear. It will all be over before you know it.
Mind if I finish the paper first?
Oh, Murray, you can always be so funny sometimes.
Hmm.
It happens when you least expect it. I mean, one minute you're. What was I doing, Mertz?
You were sitting on the toilet.
Of course. I was sitting on. How embarrassing. Good thing I died. Murray, you made that up. I was sleeping.
Yeah, I found you Sunday morning, lying there with your mouth open.
Remember how much we loved Sunday mornings, dear? Sometimes we'd lie in bed talking for hours.
I know. It was noon before I realized I was talking to a dead woman. Why did you have to die on me, Hildy?
Well, I didn't do it on purpose, Murray.
Sometimes I'd as soon get it over with.
Well, it's not just about you, Mertz. You have a son. You have Sadie. And you have, what's her name?
Tisha.
Your turn, Mr. B.
Quick, Mildred, get back in the closet.
Don't worry, dear. Only you can see me. Oh, well, you didn't tell me she was a Negro, dear.
She's not a Negro, she's black.
What did you say, Mr. B?
I said she's back.
Who are you talking to? Anyway, let me see that tongue. Swallow. Now wash it down.
You forgot my newspapers.
She looks like a Negro to me, dear.
Well, maybe I forgot them on purpose. Swallow.
She looks like a Negro to me, Murray.
Why?
So we can talk.
I like her, Murray. What are you doing, Mertz?
Saving them for a rainy day.
Well, why, dear? Do they work better in the rain?
So I can take them all at once.
Who are you talking to, Mr. B?
Maybe I'm talking to myself.
You'll just get diarrhea, dear.
Keep quiet.
I hope you're not talking to me, Mr. B. Come on, Mr. B. Make it easy on both of us.
Get it over with, Murray.
Ooh. I see someone's been a busy little beaver. Hold still, Mr. B.
It looks like a nasty one, dear.
I wish I was dead.
Stop that whining.
Now, that's the nice thing about dying, dear. You never have to worry about those sorts of things anymore.
Can't a man whine on his birthday?
Remind me to put a little diaper X on that next time.
She's the one who should be complaining, dear.
Keep quiet, I said.
I hope you're not talking to me,
I was thinking out loud.
Mr. B.
I think she knows, dear.
She suspects, but she doesn't know.
How long have you had that diarrhea?
Half a century, give or take a decade or two.
No more dairy products for you.
I like her, Mertz.
Does that mean I'm cured?
Yeah, we'll see.
Story of my life, Tish. Just when I'm ready to croak, they discover the friggin' cure.
Well, that's better than never discovering it at all, dear.
Give it a rest, Mildred, for crying out loud.
You're talking to Mrs. B, aren't you, Mr. B?
Oh, I hate to break the news to you, Tisha, but come next September, she will have been in the ground for 20 years.
Well, I never said I was alive, Murray. Has it been that long, dear? Time flies when you're dead.
That doesn't mean you can't talk to her, Mr. B. Want to know the truth? I'm glad you're talking to her.
Oh, for crying out loud, Tisha, knock it off already.
Well, shame on you, Murray. Talking to TISHA like that. Where would you be without her? And where would that old dog be?
I'm sorry, Tisha.
Answer me, Mr. B.
Okay, I'm talking to her.
Well, welcome, Mrs. B. I'm so glad you're here. Mr. B has told me so much about you. You don't know how much I need your help, Mrs. B. You know what a handful he is.
Oh, for the love of Pete.
Well, you've always been a handful, dear, and I'd be glad to help, TISHA. Well, tell her, Murray.
She says she'll help.
Thank you, Mrs. B. I knew I could count on you. Could you give me a few minutes to talk to your husband alone?
Talk about what?
Well, it must be something important. I'll be right here, dear.
She's gone.
Close your eyes. Okay, relax. Don't think about anything. Just let go. Lie back and listen to the birds and feel the warm water on your skin. You're right, Mr. B. A man should get to whine on his birthday.
Whine about what?
You're the one doing the whining.
I'm dying, aren't I?
Yes, honey, you are.
Well, thank you, TISHA. You're the only one that tells me the truth. How do you know he's coming?
He called.
Of course he called. He wanted to be sure I was still alive before investing in the birthday card. Getting so the bloody card costs more than the freaking present.
How do you feel about what I just said?
Sometimes I'd as soon get it over with.
How do you feel right now?
Scared.
Yeah, I know you are, honey. Close your eyes. Now, tell TISHA what scares you.
Will it hurt?
I'll take care of the pain. What else scares you?
How do you die, TISHA?
You take my hand, close your eyes, picture something you love in your mind, and you just let go. What are you thinking about?
Wash it more.
Mr. B,
Okay. I'll give it this much, TISHA. You know how to wash a man's dick.
I thought you couldn't feel anything down there.
Oh, I can remember.
What do you want for your birthday?
If I tell you, will you give it to me?
I will if I can. Lift up those arms.
Promise?
First, tell me.
I want to see it before I die.
Mr. B,
I heard that, Murray.
Please, TISHA. One little peek. What could it hurt?
you know what it looks like.
I forgot. All I remember is that I liked it.
I'll send you some magazines.
That's not the same. I'm not dead yet.
Is that your new shtick?
That's enough, Murray.
What do you want for breakfast, you naughty boy?
Well, 3 eggs, over easy, bacon, a side of potatoes, a stack of Jacks, plenty of syrup. Are you writing all this down?
Oatmeal or Ralston?
You choose. What kind of shit would you rather clean? Oatmeal shit or Ralston shit?
You're so very naughty.
Do I get coffee? Please, TISHA. It's my birthday. You like that shtick better?
Much better.
Wow.
We'll have coffee together.
Bring Sadie, TISHA, and my newspapers.
Not if I don't hear the magic word.
Please.
You shouldn't have to be told. Now, what did you and TISHA talk about?
I don't want to talk about it.
white Ford Bronco. It's going south on the 405.
Why not, Mertz?
Because I don't remember, that's why.
2 bodies found outside the house in Brentwood.
The Germans tear down the wall, China murders thousands in Tiananmen Square, the U.S. invades Panama, and all they talk about is O.J. frickin' Simpson.
You don't remember because you don't want to remember.
Sounds like a pretty good reason to me.
But I want to know, Murray.
She told me I'm going to die. Okay?
But you knew that, dear.
Whew. Whew, if you had a penny for every time you had to climb these stairs, Tisha, you would be in the top 1%. Whew.
Thank her, Murray.
She couldn't wait to see you.
I miss you too, Sadie, old girl. Yes, I did. I did too. You know what keeps me alive, Dildy? This old dog.
It's true, Mrs. B. They keep each other alive. Neither one of them has the heart to leave the other one behind.
You hear that, Sadie? If we keep this up, we'll live forever. You know who you are, Sadie? You are my savior. Yes, you are. Well, why not, Tish? Last time he sent a Jew. This time he sent his only begotten dog.
Oh, that's enough, Murray.
I'll be back with the coffee. Your turn, Mrs. B.
Hey, think it's an accident the dog spelled backwards is God?
Is that my Mertzy Dotes hiding behind that old newspaper?
No, it's Father Christmas. Whatever happened to family values, Mr. Quayle?
Who's Mr. Quayle, dear?
The vice president. What happened? Free enterprise happened. Greed happened. Every man jack for himself happened. You happened, Danny boy.
Talk to me, Murray.
This isn't the 60s, Mr. Bush. This time, they got more than an ounce of grass and a string of love beads. This time, they got crack cocaine and AK-47 assault rifles.
Well, who's Mr. Bush?
Talk up another one for the NRA.
Once that man gets started,
Nothing boosts gun sales like a civil war.
not even God can stop him.
They won't be satisfied until they get Congress to pass a law making it a felony for anyone 18 or older to be caught in the streets without carrying an assault weapon.
Do you hear me, Murray?
What?
How come we never talk anymore?
Because you're dead. That's why.
Can you smell the coffee, Mr. B?
Hand it over.
Oatmeal first.
It'll get cold.
Then get busy. Swallow. Okay. Wipe that chin.
No. Hand it over.
Slowly. Whew. Did you get to think about what we were talking about?
Don't you have something to do, Mildred?
No, dear.
Oh, do it anyway.
Oh, well, I can take a hint, Murray.
If something happens to me, Tisha, will you look after Sadie?
Of course I will. I love that old dog as much as you do. What else did you think about?
How is it possible for a bright, attractive young lady like you to get stuck wiping an old man's ass?
I'm not stuck. I love what I do.
What's to love about it?
I got to meet you.
Is there someone in your life, Tisha, someone you care about?
I care about you.
I pay you to care.
You pay me to take care of you. I care about you because I choose to.
Someone alive and kicking.
Maybe I don't like kicking, Mr. B. What else, Mr. B?
You don't fool me, Tisha. Someone broke your heart, didn't he?
What else, Mr. B?
Is there a good way to die, Tisha?
Yes, there is. Most of us live our lives in denial. We're so busy avoiding the truth. Do you want me to go on, Mr. B?
Go on.
Only those with the courage to work through their denial can find peace. Are you sure you want me to continue, Mr. B?
I am.
The whole world will conspire against you, your family, your doctor, your mind, especially your mind. It'll throw everything it's got at you.
Throw what?
False hope, confusion, despair, anger, especially anger. All trying to drive you back into that false security of denial.
Well, what happens if I don't go back?
Then you'll come face to face with fear. Not a particular fear, but fear itself, if you don't turn away. If you look fear straight in the face, your whole life will change.
Change how?
You'll never be afraid again.
How do you know?
I've been here before, Mr. B. In the meantime,
I don't have to.
try.
Don't you think I know when I have to pee? Oh,
I thought you knew.
I do. I know when I pee. The problem is that I got to look at my dick to know when I'm done.
Just listen.
Well, that's brilliant. How come men can't think of things like that?
We'll talk more about that later.
Wait.
We'll talk more about that later. Ooh, if you knew everything I had to do.
What have you got to do?
Bake a cake.
Don't forget to wash your hands. Those right-wing fruitcakes won't be satisfied until every last man Jack one of us breaks away from the bloody union and declares himself a sovereign freaking state.
What right-wing fruitcakes, Mertz?
The Republicans.
What about the Democrats, dear?
Oh, don't talk to me about the Democrats. They're a bunch of wuss.
What's a whiz?
It's the plural of wuss.
You didn't tell her, did you, Murray? Now tell me the truth.
Tell her what?
That you're a you-know-what, dear.
No one gives a good goddamn about communists anymore.
Well, what do they care about now?
Latte drinking, tree hugging, bleeding heart liberals.
Oh my God, Murray, is it really him? I don't believe it. It's been 20 years since I've seen him.
Give it a rest. I just hope he didn't bring the boys.
What boys?
Your grandsons. What do you think, what boys?
My God, I'm a grandma. Why didn't you tell me, Murray?
How could I tell you? You were dead, for crying out loud.
Oh, Mertz, I hope he brought them. My grandson. I've never seen them, you know. Murray, what's wrong? Stop it, Murray. You cannot fool me. I've known you too long. Do you want your son to see you like that? Do you hear me, Murray?
I just can't talk to the kid, Guilty.
That's because you don't talk. You lecture.
I never know what to say.
Well, you've got plenty to say, dear. Tell him about how you fought Franco. Or better yet, tell him how you built a union.
Oh, I know. We're going to talk about sports. That's why they invented it, so fathers and sons have something to talk about.
Maybe he wants to talk to you.
About what?
Oh, Murray, do you think he's in some kind of trouble?
For crying out loud. The kid's 40 bloody years old.
I never said it wasn't a big responsibility, Murray.
What are they doing down there? Are they having an affair?
Oh, my God, Murray. Do you think she's pregnant?
For crying out loud, Dildy, give it a goddamn rest.
Well, I will give it a rest. I'll never open my mouth again.
Good.
Oh my God. Mercy, he's really coming. I can hardly wait.
Someone to see you, Mr. B.
Tell him to take a number.
My darling boy. Oh my God, Murray, he's losing his hair.
Happy birthday, Pop. How are you doing?
Apart from dying, I'm doing great.
I can't get over it. He looks just like his father.
Don't just stand there, Tisha. Go kill a fatted calf.
They grow up so fast. At 1 minute, they're calling you mommy. The next minute, they're losing their hair. The spitting image.
Knock it off, damn it.
Knock what off?
Did you bring the boys, Marty?
No, it wasn't my turn.
Oh, what a shame, Murray.
When's it your turn?
Alternating weekends and holidays and 2 weeks every summer.
Okay, we'll bring them around next weekend.
I will, Tisha.
Oh, I can't wait, Mertz.
By the way, Pop, Johnny sends his regards.
Johnny? I don't know any Johnnies.
Walker. You remember your old drinking buddy?
So, Tisha, don't you have something to do?
We'll be fine, Tisha. You ready to party, Pop?
Shh. We know you're out there, Tisha.
It's awfully quiet up there.
So, you think the Lakers will take the pennant this year?
Don't bet on it, Pop.
Don't you have something to do, Tisha?
Johnny Walker.
Oh, code red. Don't admit a thing.
On your feet. Stretch out those arms.
Who do you think you are, the FBI? He's a guest in my house.
What's hiding in that sock?
Oh, have a heart, Tisha. It's my birthday.
Work with me, Marty.
Don't I even get a little snort on my birthday? It's not fair. Johnny Walker Black, too. Do you know what this means? I'll never get drunk again.
Oh, that's enough, Murray.
Yes, you will, Pop. I promise.
I'm holding you to it.
Oh, shame on you, Murray.
He owes me, goddammit.
Owes you for what?
All those early Saturday morning soccer games.
Are they keeping you busy, Pop?
Well, that's the downside of lying in bed all day. Not a lot to keep you busy. She doesn't even let me wipe my own ass.
What do you do all day?
Look at the freaking universe.
Be nice, Murray.
Is that all?
I read the paper.
How can you read the Wall Street Journal, Pop?
Well, to find out what they're up to.
What who's up to?
The powers that be.
You know, want my baby.
No good. And they got to stop before it's too late.
Don't start, Murray.
Now they're handing Eastern Europe over to the big corporations on a silver platter.
And who should they hand it to?
The people. That's who.
And you my baby.
Them that does the work.
Oh, those people. I always wondered who they were.
You see what I mean? Huh? What's the point in even trying?
Who are you talking to, Pop?
I'm talking to you.
Me and who else?
Don't answer, Murray.
What else do you do, Pop?
I watch CNN,
And what else?
C-SPAN,
What do you look forward to?
Frontline.
You mean all you do is watch the news?
It's the only original thing left on TV. You never know what's going to happen next. Priests rape choir boys. Christians kill doctors in the name of the Lord. Mothers drown their babies and blame the black guy.
Well, at least she didn't blame the Jews, dear.
Disgruntled housewife cuts off her husband's dork and throws it in the parking lot.
That's enough, Murray.
It's like a damn soap opera. It's just too bad I won't be around to find out how it ends.
Getting old is tough, isn't it, Bob?
Can't say I recommend it. But then your options aren't all that attractive.
I don't look forward to it.
You don't even know when it's happening until it's too late. First, you need glasses. Then you put on a few pounds.
Start losing your hair.
Then you can't climb a flight of stairs without gasping for breath. Then the brown splotches appeared on your skin.
That's enough, Murray.
But you still don't believe you're old.
When do you believe it?
When you wake up one fine morning, just like any other morning, only you're lying in a pile of your own shit.
I mean it, Murray.
It's nature's way of telling us death's not so bad after all.
Stop it, Murray.
Oh, give it a rest, will you?
Who are you talking to, Bob?
Maybe I'm talking to myself.
That's not what you say when you're talking to yourself.
How come I said it then?
That's a good question, Bob.
Do you see anyone here?
Do you?
Don't answer, Murray.
Knock it off, Dildy.
She's dead, Pop.
Is she? I wonder where she went.
Why are you talking to her?
What do you want me to do? Ignore her?
You mean she talks to you?
You know your mother. Never could shut her up.
I heard that, Murray.
What does she say?
Whatever happens to be on her mind.
Does TISHA know about this?
She talks to her too.
Change the subject, Murray.
So, tell me, how's the writing business?
I'm hot, Pop.
Huh?
Karma gave me a 3-picture deal.
Oh my God, he writes movies? Oh, Murray, that's wonderful.
It's big bucks, Pop. If there's anything you need.
A new asshole?
Didn't I always tell you he was a late bloomer, dear?
Oh, for crying out loud.
I'm starting to get worried, Pop.
What kind of movies?
The kind you don't like.
How do you know I don't like them?
I don't even like them.
What kind of a writer writes things he doesn't like?
The kind that wants to work. That way I get to eat, the boys get to go to a private school, and you get TISHA.
Careful, Murray. You don't want to end up in one of those awful places.
Do you think it's easy to keep coming up with new ways to chase someone around in a car?
You mean they pay you to write this crap? I thought they made it up as they went along.
They do.
Then what do they need you for?
They need something to change.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
Be nice, Murray.
Ever think of writing about something worth writing about?
Like what?
Like the struggle, that's what.
Oh, don't start, Murray.
What struggle?
The class struggle.
Ah, yeah, the class struggle. I remember that one. Big in the 30s, wasn't it?
Why do you answer him, Murray?
And what's big now?
The struggle between Diet Coke and Diet Pepsi.
Murray, why must there always be a struggle?
How come you only see things one way, Pop? Is it because you only got one eye?
Honestly, it never fails. It's not 10 minutes. Those two are together before they are at each other's throats.
Such a shame. Socialism turned out to be just another passing fad. It was such a lovely idea, too. People sharing and all.
Got any better ideas?
Yeah, free enterprise.
That's not an idea. That's greed.
What about democracy?
It's dictatorship all day long at work. It's only democracy at night when you get to choose which channel to watch.
You got any better ideas?
Yeah, democracy. Congress is bought and paid for by the big corporations. That's not democracy. That's oligarchy.
That's enough, Murray.
Lay off, goddammit.
How do you explain her, Pop, materialistically speaking?
Why must I be explained, dear?
I don't have to explain her. I just have to listen to her.
Oh, I heard that, Murray.
She's a figment of your imagination, Pop.
Is it true, Dildy? Are you just a figment?
Well, I never said I was real, dear.
Well, maybe she's just a figment, but she's my figment.
I think he misses his mommy, dear.
Do you ever talk about me?
You are her favorite subject.
Well, don't. I don't want to be talked about.
You hear that, Dildy? He doesn't want to be talked about.
He does miss his mommy, dear.
Pop, there's something I always wanted to ask you.
What?
Was I an accident? Is that why you have me so late in life?
The truth is you can thank Franco that you're here.
Murray!
What's Franco got to do with it?
Your mother wouldn't let me go to Spain unless we had a baby. So in case I didn't come back. In other words, you were my replacement. But I spoiled everything. I came back.
So you have me for nothing.
I know. But what could we do? Put you back?
Murray, what an awful thing to say.
That's it. I'm out of here.
Stop him, Murray.
Well, what do you want me to do? Trip him?
Say something, Murray.
She came to see me.
Who did?
Marge. Sit down. Sit down.
Who's Marge?
Your daughter-in-law.
Ex-daughter-in-law. Now you've done me talking to her.
As long as the boys live in her house, she's my daughter-in-law.
Murray, they're separated. Why didn't you tell me?
Did she say anything about me?
Your name might have come up.
What did she say?
Sorry, big guy. You're not in the loop.
I think it's such a shame when the children are involved.
Did she tell you what happened?
She said I should ask you. So, what happened?
I moved out. That's what happened.
How did the boys react?
And how did the boys react?
Since when did you get so interested?
Since you moved out.
They didn't like it. That's how.
You should have thought about that before you left her.
Did she say I left her?
No, you said you left her. Did you leave her?
I said I moved out.
Oh, Murray, she kicked him out.
Booted your butt out, didn't she, big guy?
Let's just say we split, okay? Murray?
Why, Murray?
Why?
I don't want to talk about it.
Your mother insists.
Keep out of this, Mom. Now you've got me talking to her.
Just tell us why.
Because she's a cunt. That's why.
And just what might that be?
A vagina, dear.
It's a woman who makes you crawl for it.
And did you crawl for it?
Remember, Murray? He started crawling early. I mean, it's true. When most babies were just rolling over, he was already on his hands and knees.
She didn't make you crawl. You crawled all by yourself.
Goodbye, Pop.
Stop him, Murray.
She wants you to come home.
Did she say that?
No, I said that.
How do you know?
Sit down and I'll tell you why. Because she's not about to throw away her investment just when it's starting to pay out.
What investment?
You. Who paid the bills before you started making big bucks? Not the little woman by any chance.
See, she's been telling you her sob story. She knew I wanted to be a writer when we got married.
But did she know she had to pay the bills?
And who paid the bills while you were saving the world? Not the little woman by any chance.
Keep quiet, you.
It's true, Murray. I taught public school for 30 years.
Yeah, that's right. Take his side.
Murray, why must there always be sides?
She did her part, Pop. How come you never saved the world?
Sometimes I wonder why I even bother talking to the kid.
Oh, that's right, Murray. Hide behind your paper.
Just like it was when I was a kid. I'd sit on the living room floor looking up at that paper while I try to think of something to get your attention.
Murray, put down that paper and talk to your son.
Something that'll piss you off.
All he ever wanted was for his father to put down his paper and acknowledge his existence.
Tell us, Comrade Patch, now that the wall has come down, how fares the Soviet Union?
Oh, don't answer him, Murray.
Where did it go? It seems to have disappeared. Did it fall into the sea like Atlantis?
Did they scrap all the missiles? Huh?
Did that naughty Grinch steal the Soviet Union?
Did the Red Army retire?
Last I heard, they were all working as extras on Anna Karenina.
Why do you answer him, Murray? Murray, put down that paper and talk to your son.
Weekly worker, say, Pop, didn't that used to be a daily?
You see, Mildred, he does it on purpose.
How do you explain the wall coming down, Comrade Patch? Is Marxism full of shit, or did the Soviet Union fuck it up? Which one, Pop? You can't have it both ways.
Don't answer him, Murray.
At least we believed in something. Your generation doesn't believe in a goddamn thing.
You know when I stopped believing, Comrade? The day they rolled the tanks into Prague.
Shut up, you.
Stop it! The both of you.
How can you call yourself a writer when you got nothing to say? What do you write? What they tell you to write?
What they pay me to write.
Well, then you're no writer. You're a goddamn whore.
And what are you, Comrade?
I built a union, you little mutt. It's time we face facts, Dildy. Our little boy here has become a fascist.
Murray, what an awful thing to say.
What have you got to show for it? Not a pot to piss in.
Get out.
Backed the wrong horse, didn't you, Comrade? But then that's how revolutions are. Very volatile. Up one moment, down the next. You'd have done better with the blue chips.
Get out, I said.
If I go, Pop, I won't be back.
Good.
Murray, how can you say that? Now, I hope you're satisfied.
Let him go, Tisha.
I think you've said enough, Mr. B.
Shame on you, Murray.
Can't you see what he's trying to do? Hmm?
What?
He's trying to come between us.
Honestly, Murray, sometimes I think you're jealous.
Know what I think? I think you encourage it. How many times did I tell you to quit parading around in front of the kid with your bush hanging out?
You are jealous. I don't know what else I can think.
Tell me the truth, huh? I have the right to know before I die.
The truth about what?
You loved him more than you loved me, didn't you?
Love is love, Murray. There's no more or less about it.
Just keep quiet.
Are you shouting?
No, I'm not shouting.
Well, it sounded like shouting to me.
Shut the fuck up! Now that's shouting. You see the difference?
Goodbye, Murray. If a man and his wife can't talk without shouting, how will there ever be peace in the world?
Wait, Dildy? Please? Oh, come back. Dildy, did you hear me? Mildred? Please? Not now. I'm dying. I'm dying, for crying out loud. Oh, what's the goddamn use? I blew it. Didn't I, Tish?
I'm afraid you did, Mr. B.
Yeah. Now what?
You tell me.
I wish I was dead.
No whining.
I'm just sorry.
I know you are. And angry too.
I'm not angry, goddammit.
Mr. B,
All right, I'm angry.
angry at what?
At the goddamn kid.
And what else?
And my wife.
And what else?
This party.
And what else?
The Soviet frickin' Union.
And what else?
And what else? You sound like that lady at the bakery.
And what else?
I'm angry at me. I blew it, Tisha. I threw my life away.
Are you still angry?
No. No. Now I'm just sad.
Yeah, I know you are, honey. Dying isn't something that happens to us. It's something that we must do.
How?
This is the denouement, Mr. B.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means that you face your fears and tie up any loose ends.
What loose ends?
You tell me.
Is he coming back?
Do you want him to come back?
I do.
Then he'll come back. Okay, time for your nap.
What happens if I face my fears?
The world will turn upside down. You laugh when you should cry. You feel feelings that you've always been afraid to feel. And what you believed in all your life suddenly doesn't make any sense. Do you have something to give me, Mr. B?
How did you know? Why didn't you take them while I was asleep?
I knew you'd give them to me when you were ready. You don't need pills, honey. Just tell Tisha when you've had enough.
And what will you do?
I'll make sure that you feel no pain, and I'll hold your hand.
Dying, it isn't easy, is it, Tisha?
It's the hardest thing we'll ever have to do.
Yeah.
Act 2. The stage is dark. Enough light seeps in from behind the blinds to know it's still day out. Kids are still playing in the park. Birds are still chirping in the trees. Traffic still droning away on a distant freeway. Suddenly, Murray wakes up screaming.
Dilty? Dilty? Where are you?
I'm right here, dear.
Oh, I dreamt I was dying.
It's just a bad dream, Murray.
Then how come it didn't stop when I woke up?
Why don't you watch the news, Mertz? Something important might have happened while you were sleeping.
What's it like, Dilty?
What's what like?
Being dead, goddammit.
Murray, it's not like anything.
It must be like something.
Why must it, Mertz?
Then answer this. What happens when you go in that closet?
Murray, what could happen in a closet?
Tell me.
I don't remember. Isn't that funny? And I was just there, too.
What's the first thing you remember?
Coming out of the closet.
Please, Dildy, tell me what it's like.
Do you really want to know?
I do.
Remember what it was like before you were born?
No, I don't.
Why not, Mertz?
Because I wasn't there, that's why.
Where were you?
Nowhere, goddammit.
That's what it's like.
Oh, I was afraid of that.
Look on the positive side, dear. No more pain. No more bills. No more banks. No more insurance companies. No more you know what every morning. And best of all, Mertz, we'll be together.
Where? In that closet?
You can be so funny, Mertz.
Tell me, Dildy, please. What's it all about?
What's what all about, dear?
Life, damn it.
Murray, it's not about anything. It's just what happens to us before we die.
Oh, for crying out loud, it must be about something.
And why must it always be about something else, Mertz? Why can't it just be about what it is?
Then answer me this. Why are we here?
Where's here, dear?
The bloody universe, for crying out loud.
Well, it doesn't look like a universe, Mertz. It looks like our bedroom. And where did you get those curtains, Murray? They're hideous. And those lights. Oh, the theater. Oh, Murray, you know how much we always love the theater.
Please, Mildred, I have to know. Why are we here?
To celebrate your birthday, dear. My God, I hope it's not supposed to be a surprise party.
We were going to change the world, Dildy.
Oh, it's not as bad as it would have been, Mertz.
Yeah. What about the revolution?
Revolutions aren't everything, Murray. Unions are important too, and civil rights, and social security, and peace. Those are the things you fought for all your life, dear.
They seemed important at the time. It's him.
Who's him?
Your darling boy.
Well, it doesn't sound like him to me, dear.
You're right. It's the doctor.
Oh.
I wonder what he wants.
Well, maybe he stopped by for a piece of cake.
Shh, how can I hear it? They sure have a lot to talk about down there.
You shouldn't eavesdrop, dear.
They're talking about me, damn it. It's the only way to find out what's going on.
Well, just ask him, Mertzy.
I do ask him. He doesn't tell me a goddamn thing.
Then demand an answer. You have a right to know, Murray.
He doesn't hear a word I say.
Make him hear. I'm beginning to think, Mertz, you're afraid to find out.
It's like I don't exist, Mildred.
I'm beginning to think maybe you don't want to find out.
Lay off, Mildred.
Well, I don't know what else I can think.
Someone to see you, Mr. B.
Oh, is he carrying a scythe?
Happy birthday, Mr. Brunowski.
Ask him, dear.
Were you in the neighborhood, Doctor, or did you just drop by for a piece of cake?
Oh, I dropped by to speak with TISHA. And while we're here, we're going to change your medication, Mr. B. And I thought I would take a little peek while I'm here.
A little peek at what?
Oh, just routine, Mr. B. So, how have you been feeling?
As good as can be expected.
And how good is that?
You tell me. You're the doctor.
Like a metronome, Mr. B.
Practice makes perfect.
Go on, Murray. Ask him.
All right. Breathe deep. Hold it. Ooh, I wish I had his lungs, TISHA. He's probably outlived the both of us.
I've been meaning to have a word with you, Doc.
About what?
About how am I doing?
Bowel movements, TISHA.
Every morning.
Consistency.
Like oatmeal. Sometimes like Ralston.
Ask him, Murray.
I asked you a question, Doctor.
Follow the light with your eye, not your head, just the eye. Now, TISHA tells me that your son is coming to celebrate your birthday. I'm sorry I can't stay for all the festivities.
No, and we hired a clown, too.
Go on, Murray.
I want an answer, Doctor.
Tell you what?
How am I doing?
I hate to be the one to break the news to you, Mr. B. But I'm afraid you'll never play ball again.
Damn, there goes the pennon.
Ask him, Murray.
All right. Squeeze my hands, both of them, hard as you can. Harder. TISHA, this man is as strong as an ox.
And he's as stubborn as one, too. Isn't that right, Mr. B?
I asked you a question, Doctor.
What seems to be
The
problem,
patient
Mr.
asked you a
Brunowski?
question, doctor.
Well, what seems to be the problem, Mr. Brunowski?
Cancer.
Turn your head and cough.
So, what's the prognosis?
You're still hanging in there, Mr. B. Now, what can I say? Now, this time, the other way.
Let me put it to you like this, Doc. How's the cancer doing? Is it still hanging in there, too?
No, I talked to Marty this morning.
No, now you're talking to me.
Good for you, dear.
Right now, it's benign, Mr. B. Let's keep our fingers crossed.
Benign my ass.
Well, what do you want me to tell you, Mr. Brunowski?
What's the matter, Doctor? Is dying a dirty word?
Well, sooner or later, we all have to die.
Good for you, Doc. You said it. How bad was that?
Open up and say, ah.
How long, Doctor?
Good for you, dear.
That's up to God, Mr. B. Now open up and say, ah.
Ah.
Yeah, I understand he's in the movie business. I bet you he has some stories to tell.
Who? God? How long?
That's what we're going to find out.
You could have saved us both time if you just looked down there in the first place. So, what's the verdict?
Ask him, Murray.
How long, Doctor? What are you looking at her for? You're the freaking doctor.
What do you want me to say, Mr. B?
I want you to answer my question.
I mean, they're coming up with new experiments every day.
Look at me, Doctor.
I mean, new drug therapies, new...
Look at me, I said. Now read my lips. How long?
Good for you, dear.
Tell him,
Good.
doctor.
2 weeks, maybe a month.
Very good, doctor. Next question. How?
How what?
How am I going to die?
Why do you want to know, Mr. Bronowski?
Because I'm the one who's going to have to do it. That's why. It's my first time, doctor. I don't want to make any mistakes.
What do you want me to tell you, Mr. B?
What's the coroner going to write on his on the death certificate? Let's start.
Believe me, Mr. Bronowski, you don't want to know.
You have a right to know, Murray.
Tell me, doctor, or I'll give you the worst 2 weeks of your life, maybe the worst month.
May I speak to you in private, doctor?
Yes.
Good for you, Mertz.
God, I got a good mind to start a movement. Treat the terminally ill like adults, or by God, we refuse to die.
Well, it's time someone did something, dear.
Because I'm his doctor. That's why.
And I know him, doctor.
Trouble is, we'll all be dead before we get organized.
You win, Mr. Bronowski?
Well, give me the play-by-play.
Stop me if it gets too rough.
Go on, doctor. It's like being a witness at your postmortem.
We can't stop the tumor from growing. Soon it will grow so large that it will block the flow of undigested matter to the colon. I hope you know what you're doing, TISHA.
Go on, doctor.
So where does it go?
Where does what go?
The undigested matter.
It backs up through the esophagus and it is ejected out the mouth.
You mean I'm going to shit through my mouth?
No, vomit, Mr. B.
Oh, why didn't you say that, doctor? Vomit's bad enough, but it's a whole lot better than shit.
What? Laughing is better than crying.
Go on, doctor.
To prevent vomiting, we insert a nasogastric tube through the nose and into the stomach.
Then what?
I'm afraid that's all we can do, Mr. Bronowski.
Oh, and what happens to me? Or must I spend the rest of eternity with a gastronasic tube up my freaking nose?
Well, after putting your affairs in order and saying your goodbyes, you can elect to have the intravenous feeding stopped.
Then what?
Then nature takes her course.
And what course might that be?
Well, and from 5 to 7 days, you'll expire.
You mean I'll starve to death?
I'm sorry, Mr. B.
That's better than dying of cancer.
Well, the good news is, Mr. B, we can control the pain.
Well, isn't science wonderful, Mertz? Pain can be very unpleasant.
Thank you, doctor. I appreciate the candor.
Well, happy birthday, Mr. B.
Yeah.
I'll see you out, doctor.
I can see myself out, TISHA.
You are my hero, Mr. B. You said everything I wanted to say. That was so brave.
You're my hero too, Mertz.
I don't feel very brave.
Well, I know you don't, honey. That makes you even braver.
Now what happens?
Could you give us a few minutes, Mrs. B?
Oh, of course, TISHA.
She's gone.
Well, what do you think happens?
Everything goes on as usual, only you're not there.
Do you believe in God?
No, I don't.
What do you believe in?
Nada. What about you?
I believe in something bigger than ourselves. I don't know if I'd call it God.
What would you call it then?
Life. What makes living things alive? Not just people, but all living things. If God is anything, he's got to be life. Not a particular life like Jesus, but life itself.
What would you call it if I told you I was a Catholic?
I call it Jesus.
Hmm. How do you know it's really there?
Because I feel its presence.
What's it like, Tisha?
Uh, Look at Sadie, Mr. B. Oh, look how she's looking at you.
I love you too, Sadie. Yes, I do. I do too.
If that's not God's love shining out of those old eyes, Mr. B, there's no such thing. Oh,
I see what you mean, Tisha.
I love you, Mr. B.
I'll bet you say that to all your patients.
You know you're special, Mr. B.
Who broke your heart, Tisha?
My father, he died, and I never got the chance to say goodbye.
How did he die?
He killed himself.
Why?
Couldn't stand the pain. I should have been there, Mr. B.
Where were you?
Learning how to heal the sick and relieve their pain.
It wasn't your fault.
I should have been there just the same.
He didn't break your heart. You broke it all by yourself.
Are you all right, dear?
Oh, never felt better. Come here, Dildy. Let me look at you.
Oh, I must look awful. Stop it, Murray. I wonder what's got into him.
Can a man look at his wife?
The nice thing about dying young, you never look old.
Remember when we met, Dildy?
Oh, of course I remember, dear. It was the funniest thing. We were always running into each other. It never failed. If I went to a meeting, Murray would be there. When I left for work in the morning, I'd bump into him in the hall. When I got off the trolley at night, clang, clang, clang went the trolley. There would be my Mertzy. Ding, ding, ding went the bell. It was fate, dear.
Fake my ass. I used to listen to the door. When I heard your footsteps coming down the hall, I'd leave for work.
Oh, Mertzy. That's even better. Don't you think that's romantic? Whatever happened to that old towel, dear? Pink one. Remember, Mertzy, with all the flowers on it?
I know the towel you mean.
What happened to it, Mertz? Oh, Mertzy, that's so sweet. Good thing towels can't talk.
Mhm.
Murray, it's him.
Shh. I hear voices down there. And one of them is Marty's.
Oh, it's your son, Murray.
What do I say to him, Dilty?
You say goodbye, dear.
He thinks I'm a loser, Dilty.
Well, then straighten him out, Murray.
What am I supposed to say?
Tell him about the union, dear. I want him to know, Murray, and I want the boys to know too.
What makes you think he'll listen?
Make him listen.
What makes you think I can?
Because I know my Mertzy.
We need to talk, Pop.
So talk.
We'll be good, Tisha.
Mm-hmm. You better be.
I don't know where to start, Pop.
You start, dear.
Anything in that sock?
Murray.
I got something better.
There is nothing better.
Oh, yes, there is.
What do you got there, big guy?
It's a peace pipe.
Contraband. I won't have contraband in my house.
Just try it. Look, watch me, Pop. 5 easy steps. 1, light up. 2, fill every anxious alveolar. 3, hold it in as long as you can.
You know how I feel about drugs.
4, exhale out the window so she won't smell it. 5, kick back and enjoy the ride. Go for it, Pop.
Go for it, dear.
Give me the goddamn pipe.
Easy, Pop.
Light it.
Maybe this isn't such a good idea.
Light it, I said.
Hold it in, Pop.
Good for you, dear.
Like a junkie, Pop. The window, Pop.
I don't feel a goddamn thing.
Give it a moment to kick in.
Can't you see what's going on? The CEOs collect $1 million bonuses while they put their workers on the street. The bloody SNLs bankrupt the country and they blame it on the welfare moms.
Don't start, Murray.
Congress cuts taxes for the rich and builds more prisons for the poor. Now they want to turn healthcare over to the big insurance. It was something I was going to talk to you about. It was something important. Damn it if I remember what it was. When is it supposed to kick in?
I wouldn't worry about that, Pop.
The window, dear.
It's not fair. Big insurance got health care. Wall Street, you get something too, right? I know. Let's give them Social Security.
Get off your soapbox, Murray.
Give the post office to FedEx, the airwaves to Murdoch, the Air Force to Southwest Airlines, the Navy to Carnival Cruises. Are you sure this stuff is any good?
It's too good.
Give the government to GE. It's about time the damn country earned a profit. You think the Chinese will carry us forever?
That's enough, Murray.
New World Order. Huh. Tell us another one, Mr. Bush. That's just another way of saying empire, the way Hitler did it. Well, we'll teach those redheads how to govern democratically, or by God, we'll govern for them.
She's coming, Pop.
And we don't need the UN either. We'll unite those freaking nations our way, or by God, we won't unite them at all. Even better, we'll deal with the jerk-offs one by one.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday,
dear Pop.
Oh, for the love of Pete.
Happy birthday
to you.
Make a wish, Mr. B.
What did you wish for, Pop?
If you tell, it won't come true.
Do I have to blow the freaking candle too?
You do if you want your wish to come true. Good for you, Mr. B.
Way to go, Pop.
First try, too.
And just because you can't eat it doesn't mean you don't get a piece.
What about Mildred?
Oh, of course, we can't forget Mrs. B.
Oh,
Chocolate. Your favorite, dear.
what's the point of blowing out the candle if you can't eat the cake?
It's your birthday, Mr. B.
TISHA can be so thoughtful.
Mm.
Yummy. Oh,
Oh,
don't you think it's yummy, Marty?
Very yummy, Tisha.
Oh, Mr. B, I love it when you watch me eat.
I'll give you this much, Tish. You know how to eat a cake. Nice and creamy.
Just the way you like it, dear.
Oh, another piece, Marty?
Oh, no thanks, Tisha.
I believe I'll have another.
And another big piece for the birthday boy.
Thanks, Tisha.
Are you guys going to hog it all to yourselves?
The great big juicy bud for Tisha.
I didn't know you went in for that sort of thing, Tisha.
Only on special occasions.
That's what we all say.
This is a special occasion, Mr. B.
Well, then pass the pipe.
You think to be a real pro, Pop.
Practice makes perfect.
Some call it a scourge. I call it a sacrament.
Don't you have something to tell us, Mr. B?
What, Pop?
It looks like it's time for us to start saying our goodbyes.
Not now, Pop. It's your birthday.
Listen to him, Marty.
Not you too, Tish. For Christ's sakes, he just blew out the candle. Come on, Pop. You've still got plenty of time left.
A couple of weeks. A month at the outside.
It's true, Marty.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Oh, but you knew, Marty. You know
Like
what
this.
kind of nurse I am.
Not like this, I didn't know.
They tell me that soon I'll be in pretty bad shape. So if there's anything between us that needs saying, we best get it said.
Do you want to talk to a rabbi, Pop?
I do not. I want to talk to you.
Maybe I should leave you two alone.
Sit down, Tish.
How do you feel about that, Marty?
Please, Tisha.
I took a trip to Detroit before I got sick. I wanted to see if anyone was still alive. Seems like I'm the last comrade.
Oh, Murray, don't be so dramatic.
What's Detroit like, Pop?
I couldn't recognize the place. Our house is gone. Your school is gone. Cass Tech is gone. Even 12th Street is gone. It used to be a busy thoroughfare, Tisha, full of people and stores and even trolley cars.
Mhm.
I remember, Pop.
Yeah.
Stores with sawdust on the floor, barrels of pickles and herring, the smell of freshly baked bread.
Even the butcher knew your name.
You got me my first banana split at Zukin's.
Remember, Mertz? We had to help him eat it.
Yeah. Now it's all gone. It's like there never was a 12th Street. They even ripped out the trolley tracks.
What a shame, Murray.
What's there now?
Rosa Parks Boulevard. Since when did you start hanging out with rabbis?
Since I started going to temple.
Oh, for crying out loud. Did you feel guilty? He goes to temple now.
Marge wanted me to go, so I went. What's the big deal?
I think that was very thoughtful, dear.
Please, just tell me you don't believe that crap.
Oh, that's enough, Murray.
Some of it I do.
Oh, for crying out loud. I don't believe I'm hearing this. How often do you go to temple?
I haven't gone since I was separated.
Oh, thank God for small blessings.
Don't you care about being a Jew, Pop?
There's more to being a Jew than going to temple.
Like what?
Ask Hitler.
Be nice, Murray.
Just talk to him, Pop.
Who? Hitler?
The rabbi, dear.
How come we always had a Christmas tree, Pop?
So we could give you presents.
How come I never had a bar mitzvah?
I told you, Murray.
You didn't even want the bloody bris.
Bar mitzvahs don't hurt, dear.
Did you have a bar mitzvah, Mr. B?
I did not,
Why not?
because I was too busy earning a living.
Didn't you celebrate Shabbats when you were a kid?
I did, by turning on lights for Orthodox Jews. They didn't want to go to hell, so they paid me to go to hell for them. 5 cents a light, 2 bits for lighting the oven.
Mm. Were you sorry, Mr. B?
Oh, yeah, sorry Saturday came only once a week. I made a killing on high holidays.
Marty's not even a Jewish name.
I know. We named you after Martin Luther King.
I'm glad you dropped the Luther part.
That's not true, Murray.
Yeah.
We named him after your brother.
Yeah, we named you after my brother. Remember? I showed you his picture. He died in Spain. Until I met your mother, he was the only one who even loved me. When I'm gone, no one will even know his name.
I will, Pop.
Didn't your mother love you, Mr. B?
My mother died when I was born.
I didn't know that.
Oh, there's a lot about people that you don't know.
How could I know if you never told me?
Oh, he loves you, dear.
Tell me, Bob. I really want to know. What do you think happens after?
After what?
You know what?
Nada. That's what happens.
Be nice, Murray.
I don't want to believe that, Pop.
Neither do I. But that doesn't mean it's not true. There's something about the human psyche that refuses to let it accept its own end.
Don't lecture, Murray.
If a man can't lecture his son on his bloody deathbed, when can he lecture him?
How can you accept it then?
Because there's also something about the human psyche that wants to know the truth.
What do you believe in, Marty?
That we go on.
Nada. I love that word. It sounds just like what it means. Nada. It's the best damn word in the English language.
It's not in the English language.
Well, it should be, goddammit.
Do you believe we go on, Tish?
I do, Marty. As long as life goes on, we go on. Remember, we talked about that, Mr. B?
No, I don't.
Of course you do.
I don't want to talk about it.
Well, I do.
Talk to him, Murray.
All right, Marty, let's talk it. What do we know about dying? Not what we believe, but what do we actually know?
1.
1 minute we walk, we talk, we pick our noses, then just like that, we're dead meat. Like the dead meat you buy at the butcher shop. What just happened? Something must have happened.
We died. That's what happened.
That's just a word. But what actually happened?
You tell me.
We can't answer that until we answer this. What makes us alive? Not just people, all living things. What makes cats different from rocks?
What?
Some call it the life force. Some call it soul. Some call it God. It's the same thing, no matter what you call it.
What do you call it, Bob?
I call it what science calls it: light.
But then what happens when we die?
That depends on who we think we really are. Are we the dead meat, or are we the light that makes the dead meat alive? May as well say we're one or say the other. I don't know about you, Marty, but I'd sooner be light than dead meat.
Then where do we go when we die?
That's a good question, Marty. I suppose we got to go somewhere. Where do you think we go, Tisha?
Okay, if we're the light, Mr. B, then there's only one place we can go to, which is the place that we came from, like a raindrop falling into the sea.
Huh.
Only we fall back into the light.
It looks like you're right, Marty. You're right all the time. We do live forever.
That's not the kind of living forever I had in mind.
I know, Marty. But it's better than nada.
If nothing happens, how do you explain her?
Why must I be explained, Murray?
I don't have to explain her. I have to live with her.
What do you think, Mrs. B? Do you think we go on?
As long as we're remembered, we do.
What did she say, Mr. B?
Oh, as long as we're remembered, we do. And when when there's no one left to remember,
Then we don't anymore.
oh, then we don't anymore.
Tell her I love her, Bob.
Murray, that is so sweet.
Tell her yourself. She can hear you.
But I can't hear her.
I'll tell you what she says.
That's a great idea, Mr. B. Go on, Murray.
I love you, Ma.
And mommy loves her darling boy.
She says she loves your darling boy.
Remember when you used to call me mommy?
Remember when you used to call her mommy?
I remember, Ma. This is ridiculous, Pop.
I know.
Then I dropped you off at nursery school.
Then she dropped you off at nursery school.
It was your very first day. You were so excited.
It was your very first day.
You were having so much fun. I left without saying goodbye.
You were having so much fun, she left without saying goodbye.
When I came to pick you up, they said you never stopped crying.
When she came to get you, they said you never stopped crying.
I thought you were never coming back.
And after that, I wasn't mommy anymore. I was mom.
And after that, she wasn't mommy anymore. She was Ma.
Can you ever forgive me, my baby boy?
She wants you to forgive her.
For what, Ma?
For leaving without saying goodbye.
For leaving without saying goodbye.
I love you, Mommy.
Oh, for the love of Pete.
Murray, ask him if he still loves Marge.
She wants to know if you still love Marge.
We don't get along, Ma.
She didn't ask you if you get along. She asked you if you love her.
When we get along, I do.
You have to learn to get along.
You have to learn to get along.
Maybe we don't want to get along.
Why not?
If you lived in the same house, it makes life so much easier, dear.
Makes life so much easier.
You saying we should get back together?
Well, if you don't learn how to get along with her, you'll just have to start all over with someone else.
If not, you'll just have to start all over with someone else.
It's no reason to get back together.
Then how about because she's the mother of your kids?
Did she say that?
No, I said that.
Good for you, Murray.
What are you looking at, Paul?
I'm looking at you.
What?
Don't worry so much about what happens after. Worry about what happens now. while you're still alive and kicking.
Like what, Pop?
You tell me. If I was a writer, I'd write something good.
They don't want good, Pop. They want something that makes money. What would you write about?
I'd write about something I cared about. Something you can be proud of when you're lying where I'm lying now.
Like what?
I'd write about death.
Death's a downer, Pop. No one wants to watch a movie about death.
Well, then how come they make so many?
It's not the kind of death you're talking about.
Then don't write a movie. Write a book.
Too many words.
Well, what kind of writer doesn't like words?
The kind that write movies.
Then write a play.
You mean a musical?
Yeah, a musical, only without the music.
A stage play? You mean they still make those things?
What a wonderful idea. God, we always loved the theater, Mertz.
Write a play. No visuals to worry about. And I can write dialogue in my sleep. The trouble is, plays don't make money.
Well, then write movies for money and plays for posterity.
What a wonderful idea, Mertz.
They don't treat the writer like a piece of shit either.
Then, when you're lying where I'm lying now, you can say, once I did something I can be proud of.
What are you proud of, Mr. B?
The union, dear.
The union.
The UAW, TISHA.
Only it was AWU back then. The Auto Workers Union.
Well, how do you organize a union, Mr. B?
Well, you open an office in someone's garage. You talk to anyone who'll listen.
He was at that factory gate before it was light out, and it was dark before he got home.
Yeah, you give speeches, you hold meetings.
In the summer heat and in the dead of winter.
You pass out leaflets.
They used to tear them up and throw them in his face.
Yeah.
Did anyone listen, Pop?
A few did. Enough to build an organization, but not enough to make a difference. Problem was, we were talking to the wrong workers. We thought the most exploited workers would be the first to get on board, but as it turned out, they were the last. They thought the way things are is the way they have to be.
Once that man gets started, nothing can stop him.
Then we organized the Stripers. It was a whole new ball game.
What's a striper?
The elite of the line. They could paint a pinstripe across the side of a car, straight as the edge of a ruler. They thought they were better than the rest of us. They didn't look at themselves as workers. Oh, no. You know what kind I mean.
What kind, Pop?
The kind that vote Republican. Then management put in a machine that could paint stripes even straighter. And the stripers found out who they really are, working stiffs just like the rest of us.
And then what happened, Mr. B?
Management outsmarted itself. The machine painted the stripes too damn straight. People wanted hand-painted stripes. So they called back the stripers, only at half their wages. Well, somebody had to pay for the bloody machine.
Not even God can stop him.
So I led the stripers out on a strike. They won back their wages, and I got myself a new stump speech. See, it's not about higher wages and better working conditions. It was never about that stuff like that. It's about freaking pride.
Well, what did you say, Mr. B?
Get mad, goddammit. How long are you going to let those bastards treat you like a piece of shit, huh? If you don't have the balls to stand up for yourself, then there's the damn door. We don't want you in the freaking union.
That man was a fighter.
Yeah, but if you are ready to stand up, the union's the only way you can stand up. Now, let's start kicking some ass.
Did you kick ass, Pop?
Well, we kicked ass all right. Strike after strike. It was Briggs, Dodge, Fisher Body.
Did you win?
Lost every goddamn one. They brought in the scabs, and every last one of them was black or brown.
Them niggers are taking our jobs. Send the Bainers back to Mexico.
We learned our next lesson. Don't let management split you up. I walked into the union hall. Whites were on one side, blacks on the other. So, if we let them split us up, we lost before we even begin. But if we remember who we are, nothing can stop us. Then they got up on their black and white asses and mixed it all up until the union looked like a checkerboard.
We learned as we went along.
So did management.
Yeah.
Every time we formed a picket line, they sent in the goons. They'd start fights. And the cops came in with their billy clubs. Oh, they were followed by the press with their cameras. And guess who always ended up looking like bad guys?
They called him a red.
Go back to Russia, you commie bastards!
They threw him in jail. They knocked out his eye.
My teeth, damn it.
Well, I knew they knocked out something.
We learned our next lesson. No fighting, no violence, no destruction of property, no excuse to turn the people against us.
But they couldn't stop my Mertzy.
Yeah, but management was never satisfied. They were always looking for ways to squeeze more out of the workers. They even brought in efficiency experts from Harvard Business School. They timed every move you made. They could tell you how long it took you to wipe your own ass.
How long, Pop?
To management, the line was the holy grail. Anything made it move faster was good. Anything that slowed it down was a holy sin. Then we knew exactly what we had to do. Find a way to stop that freaking line.
Flint.
That's right, Dildy. Flint.
Isn't it funny? I can't remember what happened a moment ago, but I remember Flint as if it were yesterday.
So do I. We pulled up at the gates of GM. I climbed up on the roof of that car and I raised my arms up in the air.
Fold my knight in shining armor.
I said, General Motors is now on strike.
It was like magic.
One by one, the workers sat down at their machines.
What happened then, Mr. B?
The UAW happened.
I'll never forget it, dear.
Neither will the powers that be.
And then what happened, Mr. B?
Well, I stepped down before they started screaming red.
What did you get out of it?
I got the satisfaction of forming UAW, CIO, and bringing the biggest corporation on the bloody planet to their knees.
It's not fair, Murray. You did the work. And Walter Reuther got the credit.
Well, it's not about credit, Mildred.
I know, dear, but it's still not fair.
Yeah. Michelangelo left the ceiling. Shakespeare left some plays. You left a union, Mr. B, a living, growing thing.
No one gives a damn about unions anymore, TISHA. It's guess what happens to stripers when the pinstripes got out of style?
If you ask me, your generation could stand a Murray or two.
Leave it alone, Dildy.
I won't leave it alone. It's been left alone too long. And where would this country be without men like my Murray?
What did she say, Pop?
She said your generation could use a Murray or two.
What would you do now?
I'm 90 years old. Are you asking what you should do?
Yeah. Yeah, Pop, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah. Well, take a pick. There's a long, big list. Nuclear disarmament, global warming, cutting down the rainforest, poisoning rivers, turning the oceans into cesspools, and the rest of the planet into a garbage dump. Problems like that.
Where do we start?
You tell me. All I know is you better get going. You're running out of time. I'm just glad I got it off my back.
Isn't it a relief, Mr. B?
You have no idea.
I know what I'm going to write about, Pop.
What?
You.
Oh, for the love of Pete.
Did you hear that, Murray? He's going to write about you.
What a wonderful idea, Marty.
You know nothing about me.
You'll tell me. Starting tomorrow. I'll bring my recorder.
What's the schedule look like, Tisha?
I think we can squeeze him in.
It's time his story was told.
Bedtime, Mr. B.
You get some sleep, Pop. We have a lot to do.
And only 2 weeks to do it.
Maybe a month. Coffee will be ready. I'll see you out, Marty.
I love you, Pop. And I love you, Mommy. I love you too, Tisha.
Bye-bye, my baby boy.
Isn't life wonderful, Mertzy?
Don't forget my present, Tisha.
Hold your horses, Mr. B. I'll be there in just a minute.
Oh, Mertzy, I can't wait to see it.
Neither can I. Don't you have something to do, Dilty?
Happy birthday, Mr. B.
What a lovely present, dear.
Oh, for crying out loud, Tisha, give a man a chance to focus.
Be nice, Murray.
Please, Tish, it's my last birthday. Oh, maybe there is a God after all.
What a wonderful gift, Murray.
You're right, Tish. I feel his presence. Turn around.
Tisha can be so thoughtful sometimes.
Oh, now I know what I'm going to remember when I die. From now on, Tish, I'm going to call you Tush. Bend over. Bend.
Bedtime, you naughty boy.
Please, Tish.
That's enough, Murray.
So naughty.
Wasn't that a thoughtful gift? Thank her, Murray.
If there is a God, Tisha, you are his angel. Oh, don't go, Mildred. Don't go.
I'm right here, dear. Oh, Mertzy, wasn't that a lovely day?
Not too bad, as far as birthdays go.